Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Well, it's been another year since last Thanksgiving, and I don't know if we have a lot to be thankful for when it comes to politics and courts and law enforcement and everything else, and even our military's, becoming susceptible to this disease of tyranny. I imagine we have a lot that we're not thankful for, but I hope that there's a lot we're all thankful for as well. The things I'm thankful for, first of all, is my religion, my spirituality, and my adoption by a couple of Christian parents who were serious about righting the wrongs that society does to children nowadays. For real. And the forgiveness that my religion allows me, a lifesaver. It's a good way to keep from harboring resentment and to teach yourself to let things go, even if you have to force yourself to do it, and in the long run it pays off because you become a happy person. And you also learn to forgive yourself as well. What I'm not thankful for is all the political agenda going on, the rises in prices and everything else. All right, we have a lot of problems in this country. I'm thankful for the police. I'm not thankful for the way it's run. I'm thankful that we have a government, but I'm not thankful for the way it's run. I'm thankful to be an American. Patriotism is so important. I'm thankful to be a man, one who, according to my understanding, is filled with the Holy Spirit. Therefore, I could be considered of God. I am not afraid to judge, and I'm not afraid to be judged. I'm thankful for my religion, my spirituality, my patriotism, and all of those are because I was afforded an adoption by Christian parents, around the age of 5, and a lot of people are not fortunate enough, child abuse victims are not fortunate enough to get this or anything even close. And that's, like I said, the thing I'm most thankful for. I'm also thankful that I have succeeded in solving my mental problems, my neurological issues that, the psychiatry and neurology, or psychology and neurology turned into psychiatry. So I was able to combine neurology and psychology into psychiatry and solve all of my problems without the need for medication. I didn't need the medication to solve my problems. I can use medication, to ease symptoms. But I know they don't fix my problems. They just make life a little easier and help me live a little longer if I do it correctly. I'm thankful that I became my own doctor. But I am not thankful for the current state of doctors and the healthcare system is. And it's completely the government's fault for not keeping healthcare privatized. The same with welfare. Why do we have all these children being born out of wedlock that, they're fatherless homes? It's by design. It's to make a bunch of slaves, basically, to just keep the plantation going. It really is a communist divide between the elites and the workers. The whatever you want to call a person who works for, well, we all know what happens with communism. I think it's the biggest terrorist threat on the planet. I'm also thankful for our founding fathers. I'm thankful for my country. I'm thankful for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and everything else that this country has created from that foundation, because what they did, we're a foundation, a principle for the planet to follow. We are a source of peace in an otherwise chaotic existence. I'm thankful for the celebration of life that I can enjoy now that I've overcome my past. And I'm thankful that I'm afforded my disability from Social Security, that I can live a comfortable life that I deserve, only in the idea that I didn't get it for free. I don't get my Social Security disability income for free. I really did, hardcore victim of child sexual slavery due to welfare. I got a job. I paid into it. I had seizures. I paid for a doctor to solve it. He supported my suicide when the pills wouldn't solve it because it's an anxiety disorder and not epilepsy. You see what I'm saying? And then I ended up in the psych ward, being misdiagnosed there as well. Because again, they just wouldn't accept the reality. Because, well, I take that back. Some of them, all right, I think I've talked about this before. So, I'm thankful that I'm becoming more socially acceptable and that I'm growing in my spirituality. I'm attending church. I'm volunteering. I'm keeping my life maintained. I've got my home almost near in order. In fact, I'll be moving soon, and I'm thankful for the adventure that's going to provide, and maybe an ease of living. If I'm closer to town, transportation won't be as big of a deal, and maybe I can afford to make some friends that way. I'm thankful for the family, around those adopted parents. I'm thankful for the relationships, good and bad, in the past. And, trying to have some relationships here in the present. And, I'm thankful that I found a legal way to transport myself aside from the seizures, without having to physically stress my body, which is, kind of wore out from all the abuse and seizures. I'm thankful that, again, with the help of my family and disability income, I'm able to afford that and afford a place to live. I'm thankful that I've got the mindset, again, to be getting it in order and to keep it up and even try to maintain, save, or resell it and not just throw it away like I've done with a lot of things, material possessions in my life that I just couldn't seem to handle because of those points in life. I wasn't ready for them. And I'm thankful that at this point in my life, I'm continuing to develop, and it's going to be a lifelong thing as far as I can tell. I'm thankful that my talent with music is getting better, but that's practice, and it's not a rapid development, but it's still pretty good for a person missing parts of their brain, especially that doesn't connect well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, the doctor misdiagnosed the anxiety disorder for epilepsy, but it doesn't mean I don't have a little epilepsy up in there somewhere. I'm thankful for my self-regulation, my ability to regulate myself. I get out of control when an emotion pops, but I've got the outside wherewithal to, even if I have to kind of stop and just do nothing but make sure I don't do anything that I'm going to cause permanent damage in the future. And sometimes the outside world can't handle that, and I've been getting much better at having the confidence of just saying, stop. I'm the one missing parts of my brain. I'm the one who hasn't committed crimes. You slow down away from me. And if you can't, go the other way. If you're gonna put my life in danger, well, why? Why would you do that to a former child sex slave, who's waiting to have sex until he's married and accepts the fact that he's probably never going to have married, let alone ever a girlfriend, or of course I won't have boyfriends because that whole department is mental illness, body dysphoria, I got that right that time, disorder, which is, schizophrenia or at least dissociate disorder, I think. I guess it depends on how far you take it. I'm thankful for my electronics and my internet and the technology, and I'm thankful for all the men who created everything that makes our lives so wonderful. I'm thankful that I still have really good hearing, and I'm thankful that I'm smart enough, again, to within reason take care of my body for the long run, despite all the problems I had in the past with with all the seizures and all the stigma and the shaming, and I went through quite a bit of self-harm and even a little suicidality here and there, and that's and for me to be in this kind of shape is pretty good. In fact, the only thing that's really in bad shape about me, besides my back, just again, lots of seizures, lots of the S word up inside of me when I was really young. It really does mess up the nerves and the cartilages and stuff down in there. Aside from that, the only thing, and what's crazy is, again, my brain they said my personality and mental state and all that was the most fragile thing about me when they were putting me in the mental hospital, forcing me into the mental hospital. And again, it was just an anxiety disorder. It was just lack of sleep. It was just not understanding the fact that they were not understanding what was going on, or so I thought. There's really no telling what doctors knew and what they didn't. So I've had some doctors slip and give me information that they were really just being biased. Man, I went on. I'm thankful for my birds, J and K. I'm thankful that I am capable of doing a good job at raising them, and that I was ready to get them. I feel. It was a good decision to get them. They're the happiest little birds, and I couldn't be happier, raising them to be happy little companions. I'm thankful for my intelligence, and that's, thankful again for that private home schooling. That was the key to my, to my success, because without this mechanical ability in my mind, there's no way I would have ever been able to tackle the emotional issues when they arrive, as they arrive through life. And I would have never even gone through so much emotional extremism had the healthcare system not malpracticed the ever-living thunder out of me by trying to pill mill my problems with safe pills, never giving me a chance to be a real man and take care of myself. That was a real problem. I couldn't take care of myself. I'm thankful that I can, within reason, despite, aside from my disability, I can take care of myself. Even if I were to lose my disability income, I'd still survive. It would just be a lot more difficult, and I would have to, become more capitalist than, emotionally regulating. Because again, I'm missing parts of my brain. I can't do everything all at once. It's kind of one way or the other sometimes. I'm thankful I was finally able to get to a point in my life where I could afford some really nice glasses. I spent almost a third of my income on these glasses, or about a quarter of my monthly income on these glasses last month. But now I've got a spare. I've got my contact lenses. I finally got those from the eye doctor. So I'm set on eye care for 6 months to a year now. And I'm about to go ahead and get back on to switch my health insurance back over to one with, zero out-of-pocket pay for practically everything, because I'm the disabled kind of person that in lower bracket that that is eligible for it. I'm thankful that I'm doing well on my money too. Finally, despite the rising costs, I finally got a grip where I'm not spending more than I make, or even at the limit, by forcing myself to go without, for a day, a week, or days, a week or two till my next deposit came in. I'm finally to the point now where I'm seeming to have about 15 to 20% of my income left over for the last 2 months, except the fact that I had to spend that on those batteries and bought these glasses. So now again, I'm almost breaking even, except I'm still almost 20%, of my income right now, closer to 15% of my income right now, sitting right here, and I've only got about a week till my deposit, and I don't need anything at all except it wouldn't hurt to get some milk, a little bit of sliced cheese, and some hamburger buns. That's it. You know, and those are all things that you kind of have to get several times a month. That you can't just stock up on them like I try to do with everything else. I mean, my fridge is still full of beer. I still got over half a bottle of big old decent brandy. You know what I'm saying? I still got some of my medical marijuana left over. I was able to fix this with some caulking. So I've got my double percolator going on, and I'm thankful for that I'm allowed to use medical marijuana now, because that was another big thing that was a big mess up in our country, was criminalizing substances, any of them. If it had never been criminalized in the beginning, then the people that couldn't handle it would not handle it. But with the criminality, they get just enough to stay high and start drug rings and gangs and violence and throwing people in jail for what they do with their own body, even if they're not harming other people. Just, you can't have that in a free country. And at this point, like welfare, several generations in, we kind of now, if we were to just shut off welfare tomorrow and make all drugs legal, between you and me, I would part of me wants to see that happen, but part of me realizes that that's may not be for the best. Maybe I'll do a little bit of thinking about that and make something out of it. Well, I imagine I've gone on long enough. If you don't believe in God, talk, to somebody about, somebody close to you about it, and see if that's a decision that might help you understand that life is bigger than you. Well, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself and your loved ones in good, wholesome, righteous ways. Don't mow down traffic, and don't attack people taking care of their property. Doesn't matter what race you are. And, toss it out in there real quick. I think that Ahmaud Arbery was totally wrong. I think it needs a mistrial. That I totally believe that those people were justified in their, quote, vigilantism. I think that their citizen's arrest was totally justified. Or at least needs a much more realistic judgment. What happened in that courtroom, in my opinion, was mob rule. It is what it is. And I'm so glad that Kyle Rittenhouse was proven, or is not guilty in the court of law. Because if he was, it'd be over. Our Second Amendment would be just bye-bye. There's no reason to have it unless you just stay locked in your house all day. Stay locked in your house all day. Somebody breaks in and you shoot them. Heck, the way things are going, you're still probably getting in trouble. And I'm not thankful for that, but I am thankful you watched this. See y'all later. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.